Today we're giving a brief introduction to CHARLO. At times he's interpreted as a brawler who relies on power punches over skill, but first round KOs over elite fighters are usually not luck, and undisputed definitely is not luck. So we're gonna look at some of his the defensive maneuvers and how he was working in this fight, trying to adjust, and then we're gonna look at the offensive adjustment that led to the KO. So firstly, he has to deal with this step in left hand from Lubin that grazes him right here. He's having trouble with this early on. Lubin is closing the distance fast and is catching CHARLO off guard, and he particularly struggles when he's pulling back, and we'll see the same thing just a few seconds later. Similar thing, like those shots aren't really landing super clean, but they're touching him. Look at the difference here. So he starts off probing, he's tapping that lead glove to get a reaction out of Lubin. And how do we know that? Well, because as soon as Lubin does something, look how he's reactive, he's ready for something to come back because that's what he's expecting. But Lubin throws that left hand. Whenever he does, he drops it and then throws it. So that's a bit of a telegraph. So when he initiates this attack, CHARLO's able to get underneath. And after throwing out jabs for this round so far, it takes him about half the round to finally commit to a power punch. This right hand right here, he leads with it. Luckily for him, he gets his head off the center line. But again, I shouldn't say luck, because again, it's not luck. That's training, right? That's instincts. It's all sharpened in the gym. And so he knows he's having issues from the outside. That's why he tried to force that right hand. It's not necessarily desperation. It's the need to answer back. And so what he's doing now is he's like, okay, let me try and close the distance. Here he just puts up his high guard and crashes in trying to close the distance, and Lubin just pushes him off. So he's like, okay, that's not gonna work. So he's still trying to close the distance. This time, rather than just jumping forward behind the high guard, just stepping forward, he jabs first to initiate that crash in. And then when he jabs, notice what Lubin does. Lubin pulls back and then he ducks and tries to smother. And he does successfully smother, and they initiate a clinch and all that inside game where that mid-range is shut down. And so again, we got to think about adjustments. This is the same attack Lubin's been throwing. Throw out that jab and then step with that left hand. Step in with that left hand. And CHARLO looks for a counter now. So instead of jumping back, pulling back, he stands in the pocket. He does eat that shot, but he's looking to counter, meaning that he's getting more comfortable in these exchanges. And now that he's getting more comfortable, this is when the real damage, the real buildup of his style can start to take place. Sometimes first round KOs can be written off as luck, just finding the right punch. But finding the right punch is built up in skill. So he does the same entry to close the distance. He starts with that jab, but he changes up the entry somewhat by doing a double jab. What did Lubin do last time? He ducked in response to the jab, okay? He does the same thing. So his head is on the inside, meaning his head is lined up with the backhand of CHARLO, and CHARLO throws an uppercut. And so the double jab is useful because it closes more distance, and as he closes more distance, he's able to throw that uppercut, which is a punch that requires you to be in tight. And you can see how deep he steps into Lubin's range to land this shot. And he sees it. Everything is about awareness and positioning. It was no mistake that shot landed. He saw the pattern earlier, he adapted, he adjusted, and he landed the shot. That is all. We will cover, this month of September is going to be CHARLO and Canelo vid coming soon. And it's just going to be a bunch of that up until the fight, and then we're going to cover the fight, of course. That is all. Immortality Serum out.